So my name is Louie Cohn, and I played for Boston Ladies Ultimate, and we won the first women's nationals, the first division, the first time there was a women's division. I am a mother of 4 young men, and I love Ultimate Frisbee. I think it is a really fun game that has the power to transform sport. And that's really where my heart is in Ultimate, is that I do believe that we could change the sports paradigm in this country from one that's a metaphor for war to one that could be about creating peace and cooperation. I think that women's ultimate at its beginning was about wanting to play in team sports, because pre-Title IX, you really didn't get to play a lot of team sports. You could run track, you could do gymnastics, but team sports. And so I think the women came to finding themselves as team players since then. And I think there's a certain amount of, once we model ourselves after the masculine energy, we lose something. And I think that to some degree that might have something to do with it. I'm sure there's a million factors, but I think it might be one factor in the fall in the numbers of girls playing all sports, not just ultimate, but all sports. I think that using, again, the metaphor of war for sport, that it's battling to win, that it's not something women want to do. I think that as nurture, I think there is an innate quality to the feminine spirit that is about nurturing and cooperating and feeding each other. And I think when things become so competitive that we lose that, I think we lose women and girls. I've done a lot of working in rock climbing with young girls. And there was a 7-year-old girl who was, she loved rock climbing. And she had tremendous results. She'd been doing great. But we were playing a game at the end of a class one time, and it was like a musical, musical chairs, only you have to jump on the wall and find a spot to be on. And she started to jump on the wall, and somebody just cut in ahead of her, and she didn't get on the wall. And she kind of grazed her head a little bit when she came off, but she cried much harder than was really warranted. And I'm holding her and I say, what's up? And she's just like, oh, I really hurt my head. And I said, did you really? And she goes, well, it's not that bad. I said, but you don't get to win now, huh? And she was like, yeah, Sally's gonna win and I'm not. And I said, sometimes you win, right? And she goes, yeah. And then I just feel bad for Sally because I beat her. Or if I win, then I feel good for me but bad for her. And when she wins, I feel good for her and bad for me. And there was just this whole sort of wrapping up of herself and other that, it's a tough thing to sort out. And I think girls in particular need to be allowed the chance to resolve that in a meaningful way that still supports the ethos of cooperation. So that was my cute little friend.